Hello and welcome to Signage Talk podcast. Happy Monday. It's been a long week last week. I feel sorry for those who encountered heavy rains, who their houses got damaged. I wish that you guys are safe. I hope everything is now well now that the weather has turned out better, and I hope everything is going well now. On this episode, we have a special guest. It's gonna be a ghost guest. You won't be seeing the guest, but she'll be in the background. The interview that we promised you, it's still coming due to some technical and personal issues. It's still gonna come. So just forgive us on that issue, but I promise you it's still coming. Welcome to our third episode. It's a happy Monday, the 22nd of July. I hope everyone is safe and everyone is happy wherever they are. And we are back here again in Signage Talk podcast. And I hope everything's gonna go well today. The ghost guest thought that I was nervous on the other episodes. So she thought maybe she might bring back the life in me. So let's hope that happens. Let's hope this episode flows. I hope everything is gonna go well now. Well, as you know, the name is Amukelani Ndlovu, the signage expert and the host of the new Signage Talk podcast. I don't know whether we should still call it new. I mean, it's
No, it's no longer new. I mean, this is the third episode. Come on, you've been here.
yeah. So it's no longer new. So I'm the host of the Signage Talk podcast. So it's no longer.
Actually, the founder.
Yeah, I'm the founder.
Yeah.
Well, not just the founder, but then, like I said on the first one, we are all founders of this of this podcast. It's not my podcast. It's not meant for me. Like I said on the first one, it's not me making a virtual interview or selling myself. It's me opening a platform for everyone in the industry to have something to lean on, something to have a stand on and say, this is our platform. We're not gonna watch a podcast about cars, about gossips, but we're just gonna watch a podcast about our industry, which is signage.
Actually building each other.
Yeah, so
the upcoming designers.
Yeah, so we're actually building each other. We're actually building each other.
Anyone who wants to be in the industry, they should know what exactly is it that's happening in the signage industry.
That's true. That's true. That's true. So yes, this is the aim and the vision of the podcast. It's to build each other and make sure that we all stand together as one. Like I said before, we're still gonna have interviews. We're gonna have a lot of. We're probably even gonna be showing a lot of job posts for people who are looking for jobs. I've seen a lot of people in different social platforms, which some of them have messaged me asking if I know opportunities or where can they find jobs. So if you are an employer out there and you watching this, please send me a DM, send me an email on the details below, and then we'll put you out there, and then you'll get someone who's experienced in the industry, someone who's willing to be a part of the winning company, someone who's willing to bring some results to your company. So we'll put up your details. If you're looking for someone, then we'll make sure that we post it here, and then those people will be able to reach you. As well as you guys who are looking for jobs, send me some messages, email me, WhatsApp me in the same details, and then you'll be able to be put on the spotlight. You'll be able to be exposed to employers who will be able to employ you as well. I just wanna try something out, I want to try something new. I actually want to make a challenge or a competition where anyone who's in a signage industry or who's already working in a certain company, just send us a name or a picture of someone who you think is the best colleague of the month or the week in your company, or just send us a name or a picture of someone you'd want to send a shout out to in your company, and say, I'd like to appreciate Amu. Amu has been the best designer in our company, and he's making things go at a specific flow. We really much appreciate Amgelani, and I just want to send a shout out to Amgelani. Maybe just send a short clip, or send a short a picture of them, or send a message to them, and then we'll send
We'll
a
make it
shout out.
anonymous, actually.
Yeah, just make it anonymous. You don't have to say my name is Amkelani, I'm sending a shout out to Amkelani. Just say
The thing is, on our side we will know, but we
Yeah.
have to actually make that person anonymous.
you're gonna be anonymous. So
Yeah.
basically, it's that thing. It's gonna come as if it's your company, or if you don't. There's those who don't mind being known. They don't mind.
But it's
being
actually
known.
nice when it's anonymous, because we don't really want. It's not actually based only on the CEOs to send those messages. It could be
Yes.
just a colleague
A general
appreciating
Yes,
another co-worker. So
that's true.
anyone, not only the owners, anyone
That's true.
who feels that that's someone who's making their work more easier, more exciting. Like when there's that person at work, we all know that it's just gonna be a great day.
Yep.
So it could be anyone, not only the owners. It could be anyone.
So you heard it. We'll have a poll. I'll put up a poll on all our social medias so that you guys can vote if you wanna do this, or you don't wanna do it, And then we'll make a poster and put on all the details that are required for you guys to be a part of that thing. Do you wanna say something?
No, I was saying, without wasting any time, we actually have to get to.
Yep. You had it. So yeah, without wasting any time, like they said, we are here again, back again, talking about designers.
Yeah.
You probably guys gonna get tired about me talking about designers, and
There's
and
a lot
it's
to
it's
talk
it's
about,
there's a lot to
actually.
talk about in
Yeah.
designing, and
There's a lot. Like I said the other day, that I'm not in the industry, but having to know you, your bro, I know a lot. Do you know? There's a time whereby when people ask about you, what does he do? And I'm like, he's a technician designer. And what? No, like in the bus.
Yes.
And I'm like, do you see that information on the bus, on that paper?
Yeah.
That's what he does. Do you see that name of the company? That's what he
does.
actually designs. And they're like, how does he do it? I'm like, man, it's more like a technical drawing when you design a house plan.
Yeah.
It's the same, but in this case, it's not a house plan.
It's a sign.
It's a sign. So they do like the measurements and everything. They don't draw actually with the ruler and a paper. They actually use pieces, and bro,
Yeah.
it's hard work.
So it's a lot. There's a
Yeah,
lot
there's
to
a
talk
lot to
about.
talk about.
There's a lot to talk about. We will get into in deep conversations with manufacturing installers. If you are following my social pages, I'm sure you saw one of the videos that I posted in the past weeks, where installers were struggling to put up a sign. They put it up upside down.
Yeah.
So we will get to that part
And
where
the fact that they only noticed when they were done.
that it's upside down,
Yeah.
those
The
are the kind of
pressure,
things
the
that
pressure.
we want to talk about in this podcast. So there's a lot that's happening in the industry that we still gonna talk about. This podcast is still gonna be a long podcast. This is the first season. We're still in the third episode. Trust me, we're still gonna go up to 100 episodes, and we'll be talking only about signage. Yeah. So today we're talking about choosing materials as a designer.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so we'll be talking about choosing materials as a designer. It's quite a difficult thing, yet some clients make it easy because they provide you with what they want their signs to look like.
So
They
how do you actually go about choosing that material?
Well, it depends on certain aspects or different things. There's times when you have to check on the location that you're putting the sign onto. You have to check the substrate that you're gonna put your or the structure that you're gonna put your sign on. Sometimes you have to check the weather conditions of that place. Sometimes, for instance, here in Cape Town, we've always had issues with signage getting blown out by wind. So whenever you choose material, you have to think about that factor, the wind problem. The wind is the problem. So whenever you make signage for Cape Town, think about long-term durability. It has to be strong. So your fixings has to be strong. Your gluings has to be strong. The people who assemble that thing may have to make sure that it's strong enough to withstand the wind that is here in Cape Town. So it has to, you have to look at different situations because it differs from place to place. There's some other places where it's too hot, where if it's too hot, then the sun might damage the sun because the sun might start fading color.
Yeah,
Your vinyl might start getting teared quicker than when it's in a central place where it's not hot. So it's different aspects.
So
There's a
it
lot.
actually has, when you choose your materials, it actually has to do with the weather focus.
Yeah, not
Because
necessarily.
remember, in Mpumalanga and Limpopo,
It's
the weather
hot.
there, it's crazy hot. There's
It's
no
hot.
winter there.
It's
Then there's Johannesburg.
so it's
It's
a bit
cold.
neutral.
Then Cape Town, it's a bit too
Yeah,
rainy. The weather here is
it's
crazy.
bad.
Same as
It's
KZ.
bad. And considering Cape Town, because it's closer to the sea, you are literally exposed to most of your signs getting rust
Yeah.
because it's closer to the sea.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't use your normal steel, but then you'd use your stainless steel because or galvanized steel because now that's able to withstand the rust here. So if you use a normal steel, then it's now gonna rust quicker. But if you use galvanized steel, it's not gonna rust quicker. It might not even rust. It will just take long. You might even have to change that sign 10 or 15 years to come. But with normal steel, you'll change it much quicker because it will be exposed to the seawater, which is gonna cause it to rust, which is gonna be a problem. So those factors are really important when you're designing a sign. You have to consider where is the location of that place, and then what are the factors that might damage your sign or that might cause your sign to lose on its durability. So you have to take proper measures when you're designing a sign. So yeah, there's different materials when designing a sign depending on what kind of a sign that you're designing. Because signs differ, there's signs that just needs vinyl. Anything like vinyl is the most relatable material to people. So people know vinyl more than the other substrates. You need there's some other places where you need ACM. Do you know what ACM is?
I actually wanted to ask, what is a vinyl? Before you go to the ACM, what's a vinyl? How do you even choose those vinyls? What's a vinyl?
So a vinyl, it's a self-adhesive material, which is elastic or say which is it's part of the acrylic.
How does it
family.
look like?
We'll show it in the picture.
Oh,
We'll show it in the picture. The nice thing about vinyl is it comes in different colors.
Oh.
So it comes in different colors where you have to choose which color suits your design.
Isn't it difficult to choose those colors?
It's not difficult if the client provides what needs to be done.
So what happens if they provide the color and you guys don't have the certain color? Is there something that you mix to get a certain color
No, we don't. So basically, what we do is there's what we call color matching. So we get the suppliers. The suppliers color matches what needs to be done used. So basically, if it's a certain color, because some of the colors, you're right, they might not be in South Africa. Because remember, we're not manufacturers of vinyls.
Yes.
We don't make vinyls. We just buy vinyls. So a client can come with a color that's non-existent. Because if you do that, then that becomes a custom color, and then the custom color becomes expensive.
Makes sense.
And when it's expensive, then you won't be able to pay for it. Because if you're willing to pay for it, we can be able to get it for you. But then if you're not willing to pay for it, then it's out of our hands. So yes. And then there's ACM. ACM, like us, do you know what ACM is?
Oh,
This is gonna be the ACM. I'll show you ACM on the screen. It'll pop up on the screen. So this is one of the unique materials that we use in signage. ACM serves as a backing board for our signs. So whenever you see a sign that's complete like this one, the background of this sign, it's ACM. So on that background, you've got letters stuck onto it. Those letters are fixed onto that ACM. So that ACM forms the part of the border of that sign. So it becomes the border of that sign. It's the one that houses everything that's gonna be on that sign, on the face of that sign, which it will be that whole sign. So whenever you see the vinyl and the letters, the fabricated letters, the LEDs, the illumination, that will be housed by the backing board, which will be the ACM. So the ACM, it's called ACM, but it's an aluminum composite panel or material. So that's an ACM or an ACP. That's the meaning of ACM. So again, there's different LEDs which we have to go and choose. That's if your sign has to illuminate. If your sign doesn't have to illuminate, then we have to jump that step of choosing LEDs. But then there's the signs that need to be illuminated, where we end up having to choose LEDs. And here's the thing with LEDs, again, there's where in different shopping malls or shopping centers where they want different kind of illumination. They don't want their signage too bright, but they want it to illuminate. And there's those who want to stand out, where they want to like go big. They want to pop out and be a standout a sign. So that's the other thing as well. Your client has to inform you what kind of illumination do they want. Do they want the 3000 kelvins? Do they want the 6000 kelvins? Do they want the 7000 kelvins? So that's the kind of information that the client has to give you in order for you to design a proper sign which has important materials and relevant materials for a specific location. So choosing materials is very important as a designer. You have to go through that stage. Like I said on my thing, it was my first episode. On my first episode, there's those designers who design just for pretty pictures. So this is the part now where that has to come to us as design technicians, and then we break it down. I'll show you in one of the pictures here which will pop up. We break it down and give it materials. We explode it and say this sign must have this, must have that, must have that, must have that, must have that, must have that. Remember, the reason for us doing this is because it helps the guys who will be manufacturing that sign to know what exactly are they manufacturing, to know exactly how are they gonna manufacture this sign, to know exactly what kind of material should they use. This will also help the installers to know how they have to install that sign, because now it has been broken down and they will know where it has to go to. Like we said on the first, when we started, the environment or the place that it's gonna be fixed to. Sometimes it goes to glass, sometimes it goes to a wall, sometimes it's just freestanding on top of a roof. So there's different locations where you can install a sign. So it's very important for the installer to know that the sign is made out of this, and they should have this kind of materials again to fix that sign, because their fixings are gonna be very important for them to make sure that sign is fixed very well on that specific position. So design technician, when they take those drawings from architectures, sometimes when they take them from the graphic designers, they take them as just raw drawings, and they have to read them, manipulate them, and then make them come to life. They have to implement them, they have to make sure it works.
There's also measurements there.
There's
you have to
also
actually
measurements.
measure
There's
everything.
also measurements.
So when it comes to the structures, which one is the most complicated to install the signs on? Because remember, there's curves, there's circles, there's squares, there's which one is the most
I wouldn't
complicated?
say it's complicated. It's not complicated. Okay, well, to an average person, it will be complicated. But for a person who has been in signage for a long time, it wouldn't be complicated. That's a topic that we have to keep on for another episode,
yeah.
because it's now becoming an installers section. We'll probably have an installer session where we'll only be talking about installations and all the difficulties they face when they go to sites where there's curves, and it's straight, it's glass, it's steel, it's wood, all those kind of things. So that's a section where we'll talk about installers, so we'll keep that topic for the installers. That's a very good question. So we'll probably ask an installer that question. So yes, when it comes to signage, choosing material, it's very important. Choosing material is very important, and you have to make sure that whatever that you choose, it's accurate, because when you design a sign and make sure you choose proper materials, this is not only helping the designers, this is not only helping the installers, but it's also helping the procurement department, which are buying the materials. They will know what they have to buy. It also helps the costing department, which they have to do the costing of that particular sign, which they will now know what is it that they have to cost on, because they can be costing on, like we said, an ACM, but then we'll use a different material. Maybe we're gonna use a wood panel or a melanin board. So there's gonna be cost implications there. So they have to know what is it exactly that they have to cost on, so that they make sure it's accurate. Well, I've been talking to one of my employee, my colleagues, and we were laughing about this, because it turns out now the estimators are being forced to be accurate. Now whatever that they cost, it's what expected to be done, which is not entirely their job description. Their job description is to estimate, is to check if how much can we spend. It's not to say, okay, you're gonna spend 100 rand and that's it, you don't have to pass 100 rand, you stop at 100 rand. Sometimes they can estimate 100 rand, but then now the suppliers that we get might not, their prices might not even be 98 or 99 rand, they will be 110 rand. So we shouldn't say they were wrong. Oh, they were not wrong. They estimated based on what they think the prices are.
That's what estimation means.
That's what estimation is. So I feel like most estimators now, they are being pushed to a corner. But it's another topic again as well. It's an estimators episode. We'll be talking about all those things which estimators encounter, and we'll hear what are the issues that they encounter, what are the problems that they've met before, and what are the solutions they have come up with. So like I said, you see, this podcast, it's not gonna be only for me, but it's gonna be beneficial for everyone, because everyone is now gonna learn how to solve certain issues. You might be having a specific issue that you have a problem with, and someone had it before and they were able to solve it, and you'll be able to get a solution out of that one. So it's very important for you guys to keep watching this podcast. Subscribe. I keep on forgetting to tell people to subscribe to this podcast. Subscribe to this podcast, and we'll be able to grow this channel together as a team. So yes, you've heard it from me. Choosing material, it's very, very important. We have to know how to choose your material as a designer. Don't just make pretty pictures. Well, if it's not really your duty to choose material, it's fine, but make it easier for the next person to be able to know how are they gonna make the sign, what materials do they have to use, what's the location that they have to put that sign on, and then that will make the job easier for the technical designer or design technician, whatever the role that you'll be playing as a designer. It will make things easier for you to be able to choose materials. Yeah, so I guess this will be it for the 22nd of July's episode. We'll probably join you guys again next week. I don't know what the date will be next week. We'll see next week. Yeah, that's it. That's what we had to talk about today on Signage Talk podcast. I hope to see you guys again on the next episode. Thanks a lot for my host. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Cheers. Bye.
Toodles.
Thanks for watching this episode of Signage Talk. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. The handle is @gajeni_designs. Please like, comment and share for a large audience reach. Hope to see you again next week.